Yeah, Carmen, what you just said reminded me of how I was saying a moment ago. Rasmussen can take an argument you've heard before, but put it in a way that's new and refreshing and sort of resets your thinking about it. I remember when you and I were talking about the problem of evil, you were framing a lot of questions about the problem of evil as a mother in terms of your children. And I think I said something to you before you'd read this book along the lines of, wouldn't you be more satisfied as a mother if your kids heroically triumphed over adversity than if they were in this just sort of static state of safety where they never encountered adversity in the first place? And that did not work for you. You just said
Yeah.
no. I would rather they be in the state of static safety and not
Yeah.
overcome adversity. But something about the way Rasmussen put it, I think because maybe he frames it in terms of what are the properties of a good story, and does a good story have intrinsic value, and couldn't God have wanted to instantiate those values in his creation? Something about the way that he presented the case, I think, clicked much more with you than in our kind of initial discussions before you'd read the book.
That's true. And it does bring me though to a thought that I had when you were sharing, when you were saying that, Jesus himself could have come to you and been like, Ian, it's cool. Like, here I am. And that still wouldn't have been enough. And what's interesting is when I think about what I was going through this summer, at the time, it all felt very like, oh, it's this big block between God and I, and that I could not, you know, navigate around it. But in reality, part of me wanted that block to be there. You know what I mean? Like there was just like, as I now have some distance from it, is I simply did not want to do some very hard things that God was asking me to do. Like there was just going to need to be sacrifice on my part. And deep down, I didn't want to do it. And it was very interesting the length that my mind and my heart went to come up with sort of, here are all these reasons why you cannot trust God, Carmen, essentially is what was going on. But what was very interesting is when I finally, and it wasn't even really an emotional decision, it was just an intellectual decision that I came to where I said, I believe that God is real. And for that reason, I would like to do what God wants me to do. When I finally just arrived there, emotionless, or really emotionless isn't the right word, with negative emotions, but still meaning that, that is when really I could start to uh, see the truth of things.